Hey, Inspired Moneymaker. Today we're talking about how to maximize your single season. But there are lessons here for everyone, single or married, on a journey toward mental, spiritual, and financial freedom. Episode 225 features Anthony O'Neill, best-selling author and host of the Table podcast.
What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's the vision for your life? Do you want to work for the rest of your life? If so, cool, great. I want you to do that. But if you want to start a business, if you want to start a hair school, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, if you want to be a father that can eventually tell your spouse she can stay home and provide for the kids and go to all their games and become that soccer mom, or if you want to be a husband and your wife is saying, yo, I have a great business idea that I want to start, you could be the husband and say, you know what, go do that, babe. And so for me, I'm maximizing.
I'm Andy Wong, host of the Inspired Money podcast and financial advisor at Runnymede Capital Management. Our guest today is Anthony O'Neill, a former Ramsey personality. At 19 years old, he was $25,000 in credit card debt, got kicked out of college, and was living out of his car. Listen to Inspired Money episode 112 for more of his backstory and his book, Debt-Free Degree. Today, he lives a vibrant, intentional, and debt-free life. Through his podcasts and courses, he's on a mission to help others to do better with their money. We're going to be talking about Anthony's new program, The Singles Blueprint, that will walk students through 8 pillars to maximize their single season, gain clarity on their life's vision, and build a legacy. If you're interested in this course, I have an affiliate link set up at inspiredmoney.fm/Anthony. If you use this link and make a purchase within a certain time frame, I'll earn a small commission. There's no extra cost to you. Even if you have no interest in this course, we're going to be covering a lot of good topics today. In this episode, you'll learn the importance of setting up systems and goals to be successful, aligning your vision, budget, and goals, and be sure to tune in to the end to get Anthony's advice for developing deeper, more meaningful relationships. Now let's get inspired with Anthony O'Neill. Anthony, welcome back to Inspired Money. It's so great to have you on the show.
Andy, man, thank you so much for having me in, man. You're the first person in my new studio. Like, it doesn't really look new to a lot of people because the background is new, but we're in a much bigger studio, man. So, you got the first dibs, man. So I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
I'm honored. It looks great.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to get like you, and just be smooth and just chill.
Let's jump in. What's your earliest childhood memory of money?
Man, my earliest childhood of money was my first job at Taco Bell. I almost got fired because I told my boss that she did not pay me everything that she owed me. I was 14 years old, just got my worker's permit in the Oceanside, California, the state of California, right? So this is back like in maybe 1996, 97. And I worked 20 hours for those 2 weeks. I was expecting like a check of like $120. My first check was like $70. And I was like, yo, what the heck? Like, where's my money? I did the math. It's like 525 times this is this. This ain't it. And I was like, yo, you need to give me the rest of my money. And she was like, no, son, I paid you right. I was like, no, you didn't, ma'am. No, you did not. And she was like, son, you better watch your attitude. I said, no. And I was like, I worked this amount of hours. That equals this. That is not on the check. She said, you ever heard of taxes? I was like, taxes? No, I've never heard of what's taxes. That's the government. I was like, the government? So the government got my money before I did? And I remember going home, man. And then I was so upset. I was so disappointed because I was confused. No one taught me anything about taxes. No one taught me anything about Social Security. No one taught me about none of this stuff. No one said, hey, before you get your money, the government will get your money first, and then you get to see the rest of your money. And that's the very first thing that I remember when it comes to money, man. It was a bittersweet moment, but from then on, I was like, yo, this is whack. Like, I work and the United States government gets paid first, then I get paid.
You're ahead of your time because there are a lot of grown adults who are still mad
Yeah.
about paying their taxes.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm one of those adults right now. I'm always trying to figure out how do I legally and ethically not pay taxes. But you know, you got to give them something. But I'm trying to be very strategic on how I pay taxes. I give a lot to 501c3s. I'm very big on nonprofits. I give to my local church. I'm always trying to see how can I impact the need out there rather than just giving it to the government. Now, let me say this too. While I'm also trying to be wise in how much I pay the government, I do understand that I need to give the government something if I want better school systems, if I want better roads, if I want better parks for my kids to play in. I do know I need to compensate to that to somewhat, but they're not going to get all of my money. You know, I'm being strategic.
When it's allocated well, then yes. But
yes,
oftentimes we feel like we can allocate our own funds sometimes better than the government when there are a lot of layers.
Yeah.
But of course, that's a different podcast. The last time you were on the show, we talked about your book, I'm going to get it wrong. Debt-Free Degree. Thank you.
Yeah.
And, you know, you educated us all about how to get through college with hopefully no debt or less debt. You've gone through some changes professionally since then.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. You know, last July, I had for the last 7 years up until July of last year, I had the privilege and the honor of working with the legendary, my friend still to this day, and my mentor, Dave Ramsey, when it comes to the money space. Worked with him, learned a lot, had the opportunity to write a Wall Street Journal #1 national best-selling book up underneath his tutelage and up underneath his mentorship and up underneath his press company called Debt-Free Degree. Sold, I mean, thousands, close to over 100,000 copies of that book. And decided last year with his blessings and not my blessings, just to step out and to experience some things on my own, to try something differently. And it's been an absolute blast. You know, we've still been in contact. I'm still a huge supporter. Financial Peace University is the only get out of debt program that I support and that I push and that I condone. And really wanted to dive into that whole minority culture, millennial culture, and really teach single people how to maximize their single season. As a single man, I really felt a burden to really minister to people who look like me when it comes to the financial freedom part of things, the getting out of debt side of things. And then also I was like, man, no one's really talking to singles on how to steward their single season correctly, on how to maximize their single season 100% good. Because, you know, Andy, I don't know if you're married, but you know, when I talk to married people, they say, man, I wish I would have stewarded my single season better. I wish I would have took care of this better when I was single. I wish I would have got the mental help better. I wish I would have really stepped outside of my comfort zone. I wish I would have paid off all my debt. I wish for their single season. I was like, yo, you're right. Like, and one of my mentors told me this, Andy. He said, man, everyone knows you as the money guy. And that's great. He said, but I know you as to maximize your single season guy. I was like, what do you mean by that? He says, man, you've done a good job you've been around, you know, the Bishop Jakes, the Dave Ramseys, the big names, you know, in the industry. And you've always learned something from them. You've always been able to build those relationships and learn something from it and maximize that opportunity. I wish other single people knew how to really maximize their single season and how to really go into this season and really, you know, just steward it well. So when they do get married, they're a lot stronger, they're a lot wiser, and they've accomplished so much more. So the last, what's been since August, man, I've really been able to really focus in on that, coming out with a lot more content around single people. I'm not the expert guy, Andy. Like, I'm not trying to teach people how to get a wife and how to get a husband because I'm still single. So I can't teach you how to get a wife or how to get a spouse. But what I can do is teach you, here are the pillars. Here's the foundation of what you need to do so that way you can be successful. I'm still the money guy. I'm still going to teach you how to get out of debt. I'm still going to teach you how to build, you know, wealth. And I am coming from a more millennial minority approach in that section now. But then also I'm that, you know, guy that's going to help single people. We're going to maximize, man. We're going to start business during our single seasons. Therapy is going to become popular, not unpopular in our single season. I'm a spiritual guy, so I'm really promoting, the Christianity walk. How do we grow closer and how do we really grow spiritually in our single season? Just really maximizing the single season. So the last few months have been great. Moved to the beautiful city, the DMV. I'm in Maryland, but I'm like 10 minutes from DC, and like 15 minutes from Virginia, and then about 30 minutes from Baltimore. So relocated. Bought a nice little studio place here in the beautiful area and just really focused, man. 2022 is a year of maximizing our single season and eliminating debt and building wealth.
Anthony, I'm married with 3 kids. So for me, it's thinking back. And sometimes I reflect, like, what happened in my 30s? What did I do?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could have done a lot more. And now it's too late. So I'm trying to rev things up in my late 40s. Yeah. Talk a little bit about what is this season of singleness, because I think even when you were talking about taxes when you're a kid, these are things you're not learning in school. No one talks about a season of singleness when you're in school either.
Yeah, man. And I think, when it comes, there's 2 things that I think not single people, but schools really need to be teaching, especially in that senior year. Number 1, of course, is financial literacy. Every school needs to have the foundation in personal finances by Dave Ramsey and them. It's a great one, right? The number 2 is, here's how you go into the world now as a young single person. Here are the foundations. Here are the steps you need to be taking to really maximize this season. As I think about it, when you go inside of the gym, do you just want to go in there in the gym and just walk around for an hour? Do you want to go in the gym and just push lightweight? No, you need to be very strategic on so if you're doing legs, you need to be very strategic on legs. You need to be very strategic on chest. You need to be very strategic on cardio. You hire a trainer in the very beginning. So this way you're maximizing every piece of equipment, every hour that you're in the building, every time you're there, you're maximizing it, but it requires some level of training. So that way you're stewarding this season well. Every gym membership depends on where you go, but the average gym membership is going to be anywhere between $75 to $125 if you go into a good gym. Now, if you're going to, one of those big chains that has so many of them, you may spend about $30 for it. But if you're going to spend this money, why not maximize that money? Why not maximize that opportunity? And it's just like single people. You don't have any kids. Some of us don't, single people. We don't have, a spouse that we have to wake up to and provide for. So why not at 18, 19 years old, take advantage of this season? They say the average person is going to live, Andy, until about 77 years old, the average male, right? And so the average person at retirement is going to retire at 65. So you're trying to tell me I'm going to live 65 years to only enjoy about 12 years of my life free? No, I want single people to maximize this season. Work hard so we can retire at 40. Work hard so we can retire at 45. Work hard so at 35, you can be enjoying the rest of your life doing what you want to do. Like what I'm doing right now, I could do this until the day I die because I enjoy doing it. I get excited. When I saw my schedule today, I have about 13 podcast interviews. The very first one is with you, Andy. And I was like, yo, I love it. I remember this guy. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. Here's why. Because I've been able to maximize my single season. I worked the jobs that I had to work so I can get to where I am today. When I think of single people, right, timing is one of the pillars that I teach. How are you maximizing your time? Your 9-to-5 job pays your bills. Your 5 to 8, 5 to 10 sets you up for your future. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's the vision for your life? Do you want to work for the rest of your life? If so, cool, great. I want you to do that. But if you want to start a business, if you want to start a hair school, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, if you want to be a father that can eventually tell your spouse that she can stay home and provide for the kids and go to all their games and become that soccer mom, or if you want to be a husband and your wife is saying, yo, I have a great business idea that I want to start, you could be the husband and say, you know what, go do that, babe. And so for me, I'm maximizing. Andy, one of the things growing up, and I'm gonna be transparent with you on your podcast, right? Growing up, my mom worked 3 jobs just so we can have a good Christmas. My dad, my stepdad, and my biological mom never had a wedding. My mom didn't get her ring until her third year anniversary, and it was a small ring. And she didn't get the ring of her dream until like their 15-year anniversary. And I remember looking at the struggle of my parents growing up. I remember watching my dad tell my mom, no, we can't do that for the kids. No, we can't go here. No, we can't do that. And something hit me about 2 years ago, Andy. And I'm being honest. I fell into debt trying to impress others. I racked up all this debt trying to impress her, trying to impress him. I fell into this debt because I was trying to please culture. I was saying yes to all my friends. I was saying yes to all of my girlfriends. I was saying yes to everyone else. And something hit me. You got to maximize this single season so that way when you get married, you can say yes to your wife and not no. I refuse to say no to my wife because I said yes to everyone else. I refuse to say no to my wife because I didn't maximize and steward my single season correctly. So I'm flipping it now. I say no a lot to girls who are just friends, to my male friends, because I want to steward this well. So when I get married, I can tell my wife, yes, you can have the ring of your dream. Yes, we can build the house of your dreams. Yes, we can get this for the kids. I have not been to Disneyland yet, period, because my family couldn't enjoy it, because I want to go there with my wife and with my kids. And so when I think about stewarding and maximizing your single season, man, it's how are we setting ourselves up to do the things we want to do down the road? How are we growing our business? So, man, don't get me to preaching, man. You know I'm a preacher at heart, so let me be quiet.
Well, I think now you're talking as soon as you say, let's retire at 45. That means that I'm behind the 8 ball. You know, I see a lot of single people or young people, just broadly, like there are those who are in a rush to grow up.
Yeah.
There are those who don't want to grow up at all. So let's start with, what are people doing wrong? What mistakes do you see people doing?
Yeah, the number one mistake is they're rushing into culture rather than rushing into alignment and vision. Let me say it again. They're rushing into doing the things that are popular on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat. They're rushing into trying to get the bag rather than rush into getting into what is the vision for your life. You see, where there is no vision, that's where people perish. Where are you going? What's your navigation system? How are you getting there? There's a simple process that I teach within my course of single people called the Singles Blueprint, right? It is come up with your vision. From vision, come up with goals. From goals, come up with daily habits. And those daily habits are just systems. What are you putting in place every single day that will get you closer to your goal? When you get to that goal gets you close to your vision. Your vision could be a 5-year plan. Great. What are your 1 year, what's your 1 year goal to get to your 5-year vision? Once you get that 5-year vision down to your 1 year goal, okay, cool. What are you doing every single month, every single day? What habits, what systems are you putting in place so that way you can reach it? Rather than saying, hey, you know what, let me go chase income. Let me go chase the bag. Let me go chase money. No. What's the vision? You see, when you can have a clear vision for your life, my vision is, I want to help 1 million millennials and minorities get out of debt, build wealth, start businesses, and maximize their single season. That's my goal. That's my ultimate vision when it comes to the business side of things. Okay, cool. Anthony, what are you doing? Well, I have a show. So what do you need to do on your show? Well, I need to actually get to about 500,000 to 1 million subscribers so I can be touching 500,000 to 1 million people. Okay, cool, great. What are you doing every single day to get to that? Well, I'm creating content. I hired a team to where we can start growing. We're going to come out with more shows. You see what I'm saying? So I'm putting in practices. Now check this out. Because now I have daily habits and daily systems with a minimum goal, which reaches my ultimate vision, influence and impact equals income. So if I can have a solid vision that is impacting and influencing people, those two things will produce income. And so I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing is they're chasing the income, which I get it. We got to pay bills. But man, when you can honestly influence and impact people, that will produce income. And watch this, it will produce more income than you actually chasing the actual income, if that makes sense.
It's funny how the universe works sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
when you're just going after the money, sometimes or oftentimes bad things happen. You go off course.
Yeah, you go off course, man. And my thing is, not everyone does what you and I do, right? They don't do podcasts. They don't, they're not YouTubers. Cool, great. But if you work at McDonald's, okay, how do you influence people who are coming into McDonald's? If you work at Walmart, if you work at a grocery store, are people smiling when they come to your cash register? Are people smiling at you when they are impacted by you, when you're helping them get to this aisle to get that? When you can impact those kind of people, what happens is, you start getting recommendations, to your manager. Like, yo, man, that person was amazing. Man, that person really helped me out. Oh, he went over and beyond. She went over and beyond. Cool, great. Now what happens? Manager saying, you know what? That's the next manager of the store. We're going to make him or her a shift manager. We're going to make her the manager over this. Now what happens? You just got a pay raise. You just upped your resume. Why? Because you were focused on influencing, impacting people. Don't just go to your job just to get a paycheck. Yes, we need to get paid, but how do you really influence and impact the people who are encountering you, who are coming upon you and saying, you know what, hey, I want to help you. I want to be a blessing to you. And for me as a Christian, man, helping and serving people is my ultimate dream. It's my ultimate assignment. And I just believe if I serve a lot of people, the income will come.
Can you talk a little bit more about setting this big goal and then the daily habits? I love that because the daily habits are getting you towards the bigger goal.
Yeah.
How often do you revise the big goal? And how often do you review these goals and habits? And accountability, do you have suggestions for, do you do this with a group of friends? Like, how do you stay on track? Man,
Andy, I'm loving this conversation, man. You got me pumped over here. You got me leaning back and forth. I'm just so excited about this conversation.
Well, I asked you 20 questions all in one.
Man, I think, Andy, the thing is when it comes to goals, right? Let's put it on the money side. Today's January, right? So let's just say by the end of quarter one, let's say by the end of March, we want to pay off, I don't know, our car, for example. And let's say that car is $10,000, just to be simple on math. Okay, cool, great. That's the goal, $10,000, right? Watch this. The vision is to be debt-free by the end of the year. Okay, cool, great. The goal is, okay, what do we need to do to get there? So I need to pay off the car by March so I can go to the next debt, which is XYZ. All right, cool, great. So every single month, we got January, we got February, we got March. Does your budget align with your vision? Let me say this again. The vision for your life, the vision for this year, the vision is I want to pay off debt. Okay, cool. On the money side, does your vision for your money line up, AKA budget, line up for that every month? So every single month, what you should be doing is you should be looking at your budget and saying, all right, cool. I'm going to allocate $100, $500, $1,000 extra to this vehicle, which means now, watch this, daily habits. I'm going to go in here every single day and I'm going to turn off all the extra apps on here. Why do I need Spotify? Why do I need, Hulu? Why do I need Apple Music? No, I'm not saying it's wrong to have all those because I do have Hulu and Netflix, but I also don't have any debt. So for me, it's like, okay, cool. We're going to do what we have to do to get to where we want to go. So we're going to X these things out. We're going to stop eating out and we're going to make sure that this is reflected on the vision for our money. And I don't really like the term budget because every time you hear the word budget, people's like, oh my gosh, I'm stingy. No. Let's replace that word with vision, okay? Because vision produces fruit. So if the vision for our money, AKA budget, is we're going to sit here and pay off this debt by the end of March. So this means every single month, we're going to allocate this amount and we should be looking at that honestly, at least every week, making sure that we're not overstepping anything, making sure that we're not overbuying anything, making sure that nothing's slipping through, making sure that we are not turning off, but canceling some subscriptions and we're living below the means so we can hit that goal. You want to review your goal as much as you possibly can. One of my things now, I just purchased a new home here in the DMV area. And one of my goals is I want to go ahead and get it fully furnished because it's a big home, because I bought a bigger home so I can run my company out of the basement. And so I want to get all this fully furnished this year. Then starting next year, the ultimate vision is to get this house paid off within the next 3 to 5 years. And so what I'm doing is that's on my vision board. I'm making sure that's on the vision for my money. I'm going to make sure that those two are working hand in hand.
The singles blueprint, I know it's for singles, but
Yeah.
I think that I can also benefit, even as a married guy, family of 3 kids, of setting the goals and daily habits and getting to where my family wants to be. Who did you, like, can this also apply to divorcees who are newly single?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this applies to everyone, really, because the course is called the Singles Blueprint, 8 pillars to maximizing your single season, gain clarity on your vision, and watch this, start building legacy now. So literally that applies to everyone. But I really wanted to put emphasis on single people because I'll be honest, man, I didn't really start maximizing my single season until maybe about 5 years ago. And that's when I seen the shift. Let me say this. I haven't been perfect the last 5 years, but I've really been able to build an extreme amount of success. And when it comes to building good relationships with other mentors and other celebrities and other wealthy people, I've really been able to build success when it comes to, my mental health. I've really been able to build success I'm comfortable stepping outside of my comfort zone. Like I am comfortable being uncomfortable, if you get what I'm saying, because nothing extraordinary happens inside of our comfort zone. So I moved to a city. I don't know anyone here. I don't know anyone. I don't have any family in this city. But you know what? I'm like, what? Let me just try something new. It'll be uncomfortable for a little bit. But the things that I can do in this city, man, would be absolutely amazing. So
how did you pick it? How did you pick that city?
One of my mentors said, man, you've always moved somewhere because you wanted to go somewhere. Like, because you had to go there. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You can do your show from anywhere. You need to be near a large airport so that way people can fly in and fly out, and you need to be able to fly in and fly out. But where do you want to go? And I'll be honest, Andy, and I don't want to offend nobody, but I've never been around a large group of minorities. And, the DMV area is a great place for that. And I really wanted to just experience that for a season and just really talk to, people who look like me, people who are, Hispanic. And I really wanted to serve that minority community. And the DMV area has that. So that's how I chose, and that's why I chose it. And it's been a great experience thus far. And I absolutely love it. So when you think about the singles blueprint, while the title is the singles blueprint, you're right. The 8 pillars that I'm teaching inside of this singles blueprint, actually married people, divorcees can definitely do it because they're single, but married people can definitely get it and learn something from it because all 8 pillars of them, for an example, I have one 8 pillar. One of the 8 pillars is called your core. Really define who you are at your core. That's not just for single people. Married people need that too. How do we really define who we are? Because if we don't define who we are, then we allow other people to tell us how we should be, how we should think, and what we should do. And really, that's just between us. And if you're spiritual like myself, between me and God. But if you're not spiritual, that should be at your gut. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go in life? And let you define that, not other people tell you what you should do. So I'm excited about this course.
I want to touch upon these 8 key pillars because it sounds comprehensive. So far, you mentioned timing.
Yep.
And you mentioned core.
Yep.
And I'm not sure, does the single person who signs up for your course have to be an entrepreneur who's ready to start a business? What are these 8 pillars?
These 8 pillars are literally just about the things that I've learned in life. And so I give you a couple more. I don't want to give out all of them because, I really want you to come because, these are some pillars that I think are important that I don't really think we really step back. The very first one I talk about is a spiritual connection. So it is a Christian-based foundation course. So I do talk about being connected to a higher calling, a higher being, which is God. That's the first pillar. The second pillar is really time. How are you maximizing the time? When I say time, I'm talking about, okay, when you wake up in the morning, What does your schedule look like? Is the first thing you're doing, is it going to Instagram? Is it going to Snapchat? Is the first thing you're doing, are you giving the world your first when you should be giving yourself your first? How are you programming your mind to evolve, to mature, and to go conquer the things that you want to conquer? And I say that because, man, I used to wake up every single day. Man, back in the days, I'll jump on MySpace, Andy. I'll jump on Facebook. And I was like, man, I would turn over and not even get out of the bed, have one eye open, and I'm looking at MySpace. Who followed me? Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm going to put her in my top friends. You know, I would turn over and get on Facebook. I wouldn't turn over and maybe read an encouraging word for the day. I wouldn't turn over and pray in the morning. I wouldn't turn over and listen to something inspirational. I wouldn't turn over and look over my dreams, look over my goals. What I would do is I would turn over and look over what everyone else is doing. And so I'm really breaking down, how do we maximize and strategically set up our time to win? There's nothing wrong with social media. We're all on social media and we should use social media. But when we first wake up, we need to put ourselves first. So I literally, inside of this course, I provide an actual calendar of here's how I maximize my time. I literally schedule my entire day out, and I'm telling you, you'll love it, because you'll see I have the first of the morning, I do a certain little thing. Then after that, I have my day on there. Then after that, I have, okay, cool. Every single day, I'm working towards my vision. How much time am I putting towards vision? And so I'm literally laying that out. Then another one I'm really talking big about, which is very good, is physical health. Everyone has their own perspective on what is healthy. I'm giving my perspective on what's healthy. This is not about a weight size. It's about you.
What do you do for you?
For me, man, I'm very big on gym. I'm very big on cardio. I'm very big on reading. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that reading plays into your physical health. I'm very big on eating healthy. And watch this, I'm very big on the energy that I'm surrounded by when it comes to my health. And that is who's around me. What friends around me are they drowning me with drama, with he say, she say? Am I going to sleep and losing sleep because of I heard this? And so for me, when it comes to my physical health and my mental health, we talk a lot about, hey, here's how I am evolving in this area. Here's what's been working for me. I'm very careful on, very, very big on accountability. So I have a workout partner. I have an accountability partner. Like, hey, my goal is to be lean. You know, I want to be lean. So in the summer months, because as a single man, I know my wife wants to look at a good looking man. And so let's just be honest. I mean, everyone wants to be attracted to their spouse. And so while I'm single with no responsibilities, I have a strategic, I get up every single morning at 5 a.m. and I work out in my gym. And I work hard because I want to make sure that I look good and I'm healthy. Watch this, not just for her, but for me. I want to live a long life for myself. I want to be healthy for myself. I want to be able to, whenever my kids turn 15 years old and they're out there playing basketball, yeah, I may be about 55 by then, but I'm still going to be able to cross over my son because I was wise and I maximized my single season at a younger age and I took care of my health. You know, I was working on myself. So that's one thing that we're really working on. But we got 8 pillars in there. It's going to go deep. And I'm telling you right now, Andy, everyone can really learn from it. If you're married, please join us if you want to, because we're going to dive in. We're going to dive in. But if you're married and you know a single person, this is a great course to share with them if they're 18, 19 years old. Or whatever age, 55, and they're recently single or been single. Everyone's going to really learn something from this course, man.
What's the structure going to be like, Anthony? Is it on-demand videos? Are you available for coaching? Like, how do people help each other? Is there a community? How's that going to work?
Man, we have it all. So I have about 14 already pre-shot videos that you'll be able to move at your own space on. And then starting March 11th or 12th, I'm going to have orientation and we're going to walk through the whole structure. You're going to get 8 weeks of one-on-one coaching with myself. And then also I'm bringing in special guests. For an example, on this one, in this course, I'm not teaching you how to find a husband and wife. but I am going to bring in someone, an expert, a married couple that can come and say, you know what, hey, you guys, here's how we maximize single season to get prepared for your future spouse. And that's going to be one. So 8 weeks, once a week for 8 weeks, I'm going to be jumping on there live for 2 hours, 1 hour teaching of myself, 1 hour with a guest. If I don't have a guest, then we're going to set that up for Q&A to where I can honestly answer your questions. Then we're going to have a community. That's going to be a year-long community to where, hey, we're going to all hold each other accountable. You're going to have to, there's one segment of the course where you have to upload the vision for your year. All right. Then from the vision from your year, you have to break it down to goals into daily habits. And we're all just going to hold each other accountable. It's a private community group. Only the people who get inside the course, I'll be able to see that. And you're going to have 8 weeks with me directly. You're going to have my direct email. You won't have my direct number, but you will have my direct email. And you will have a number to me. I'll be honest. It is coming to my phone. You will be able to text me. You will be able to call me, but it won't be my actual cell phone. And we're going to have a good time, man. You're going to have direct access to me. I will have a community liaison in there that's making sure everyone's up to date on what's going on. But I would say about 75 to 80% of what's going on in the community will come from me because, you know, you're paying a good little price for this. It's not expensive, but I want to make sure that you don't just get what you pay for. Honestly, I'm underselling it because it's my first course and I'm launching, and I just really want to bless a lot of people. So maybe you might want to get in because I think when we relaunch in August, I may double the price because this one is just a bless the people, help the people. And then in August, I'm going to charge what it's worth.
What does pricing look like right now? And what are the important dates that people need to know? Because I know that I think there's a wait list first. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it's March?
Yeah. So the wait list is going to be from January 31st all the way up until the end of February. And then we have an open cart. So we're going to open cart and close the cart. March 1st, the cart opens, and then March 10th, the cart closes. If you don't purchase by then, you will not be in the cart. I mean, the price is $9.97, but actually we're cutting it off to we're slicing it in half to $4.97. So if you want to do that, you definitely want to check out Andy's link in the show descriptions and get a part. It's only $497 one time. And you get the full course. We have so many free materials in there. Not free materials because you pay for it. I hate when people say it's free materials. Like, no, you pay $4.97. So there are some bonus materials in there. You're going to get 8-day affirmations from me to where every single morning you're going to wake up with a voice note from myself. And it's a 7-minute long of just me reading and affirming every pillar. And we're going to talk through that pillar. It's very well done. Listen to that before you get on Instagram, before you do anything else. This is the first thing you should be listening to. That's a bonus in there. So I got a couple more bonuses. I sat down with my good friend, Terry Igioma, who is a multimillionaire. She made $40 million last year, and she's a single multimillionaire. And we sit down and we talk about, how do you build success financially as a single? So she breaks down how she did it, and she gives encouragement to ladies on, hey, if you are this woman and you are successful, here's how you could be successful and still attractive to a man. Because she makes $40 million a year. The average man that she meets is not going to be making $40 million a year. So she really talks about how she's been able to present herself without money being an issue. And then my real good friend, Tony Gaskins Jr., he joins us and he sits down and talks to the men about, hey, here's how you become a man of character, a man of integrity, a high value man, a high caliber man for our queens. And man, it's so many good things. And so $497 is a steal. Because for 1 hour of my time, you're paying about $15,000 for me to speak on the stage for 1 hour, right? But I want to be a blessing to my tribe, and to my community, and to your community, and just say, hey, man, let's dive into this thing. So it's going to be great, man. I'm telling you right now. Sounds cool.
I know that you get great guests on the Table YouTube channel. So if that's any indication, you're going to have great guest speakers as part of this course. And it sounds like you're diving deep. I mean, 8 key pillars. You've got money and dating and all kinds of really interesting subjects. Yeah. If we can take a step back, because last time you and I spoke, it was clear to me that Dave Ramsey changed your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does it feel kind of going out on your own? I know that the friendship is still there, the respect is still there, but how does it feel to sort of leave the Coop and go out on your own?
I mean, it feels great. And here's why it feels great, because I'm standing on generals' shoulders. It's not just Dave's shoulder who I'm standing on. I'm standing on, Dave Ramsey's shoulder. I'm standing on Bishop Rudolph McKissick Jr.'s shoulder, who is the first person to really give me a large platform to do, ministry and what I really love to do. I'm standing on Bishop T.D. Jake's shoulder, who allowed me to come in and speak to his youth when I was a young guy. I'm standing on a lot of great people's shoulders who have all allowed me to evolve and to mature and to grow and to get into the season to where I'm in today. And being on my own, it's been a great experience. It's been some long nights. It's been some hard seasons, some hard times, because now I don't get to go into an office and have a full team. I don't have, a huge 1,000 team member backing me. It's me. It's me and the 3 people that's on my team now. And it's been great, though, because being on your own, you're able to make mistakes, but also being on your own, you're able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. And it's been such a great experience to do that, and still, seek advice from my mentors and from my friends. Still seek wisdom from them. But it's been great, and I'm looking forward to what's next. I'm looking forward to continuing to support everything that Dave, Bishop McKissick, all these other guys are doing. But now the truth is, man, I'm building a legacy for my family. While supporting others, I'm building something that my kids can really, really take over down the road if they want. And honestly, I'll be very frank and honest, is I'm building something for the minority culture. And I love that.
Yeah, I love this idea of being driven by impact. Yeah. Can you give a quick tip? Because you mentioned as you've gotten older, you're building better relationships, stronger relationships with mentors, with celebrities. A quick word on how people can develop those relationships so that they're meaningful?
Yeah, I think one of the quick things that you could do is remember that you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth for a reason. When you are around the mentor that you want, listen and watch more than you talk. And every time you talk, ask more than you give opinions. Every time I was in Dave Ramsey's office, I listened and I watched more. Sometimes I just would go in and just watch how he moves, how he thinks. And then I would ask questions. Hey, Dave, why did you do that? Hey, Dave, why did you move that? Hey, Bishop, why did you do that? Hey, why'd you do that? Because I think they are the secrets to our success. And I think oftentimes we think that we got it all and we know it all when we really don't. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And I've been able to watch Dave, who knows a lot of things, get wisdom from other people. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. Let me do the same thing. And so when it comes to developing relationships with wiser people, understand this. They're there to challenge you. They're there to correct your thinking. So listen, watch way more than you listen. I mean, way more than you talk. And from there, you'll gain their respect. But then also, here, I'm going to say this as well. Remember who you are at your core. They can give you wisdom. They can give you advice. But just make sure that wisdom and advice lines up with who you are at your core. And if it doesn't, then you need to think differently. If it does, move forward. That's my advice.
Great advice. Yeah. Well, thank you, Anthony. Thanks for joining us again. I'm going to have an affiliate link for your Singles Blueprint course at inspiredmoney.fm/Anthony. And thanks so much. Tell the Inspired Money viewers and listeners where they can follow you because you have a big following.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. You can go to anthonyoneal.com. You'll be able to find everything there from my social media channels, more information about my show, The Table with Anthony O'Neal, which airs Mondays and Wednesdays throughout the week. You'll be able to find a lot more free resources when it comes to like your money stuff and single stuff. So go to anthonyoneal.com and make sure that you all click Andy's link and come join us over here at the Singles Blueprint. It's going to be an absolute blast.
Thanks so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
So what was your favorite inspired money moment? I liked Anthony's approach to being more intentional with his life. Have clear goals. Whether that's becoming debt-free, finding your purpose, or spending your time more wisely, write down your goals and build systems to achieve them. If you had a different favorite inspired money moment, let me know by posting a comment below. If you liked what you heard today and want more information about Anthony's The Single Blueprint program, please use my affiliate link, inspiredmoney.fm/Anthony. The waitlist is live right now. The cart opens March 1st and closes March 10th of 2022. If you use this link and make a purchase within a certain time frame, I'll earn a small commission. There's no extra cost to you. Thanks for your support and for watching to the end. Thank you for joining me on this mission. Have an inspired week and do something that scares you, because that's where the magic happens.